So, the 2 days of shooting are over and now it's time to leave the hotel and head out into Amsterdam. The flight is not going before 9 o'clock in the evening, so we have basically the entire day to go out and explore Amsterdam. But first we have to clean up our mess in the room, pack the bags, and then check out. But before we check out, I quickly wanted to tell you what today's video is gonna be all about. Because, especially the last few months connected to this project have taught me something. And that is the importance of taking the initiative. But I guess for that I need to explain how this entire project came to be. This is gonna be a nice and sunny day today. But first we're gonna introduce a guest star for today's episode.
Is it on record?
Meet Lotta from Epidemic Sound.
Hey, what's up Amsterdam?
Instagram link in description, by the way.
We're here recording for Epidemic Sound and it's a wrap.
Lotta is the new vlogger now.
Yes, I am. I could get used to this. Okay, so we're going into the car to get to the central station. Then we'll just go out and explore Amsterdam.
Exactly. But since Lotta had a much earlier flight back to Sweden than Ida and I, we had to say goodbye to her pretty quickly and then headed into the city to start a little touristy photo session. Because that was actually the plan for today. We've been wanting to step up our Instagram and photo game for quite a while now, so whenever we get a chance to do some practice, we take it. So don't be surprised if I throw in a couple of snapshots here and there throughout this video. If you want to see more of those pictures, I'll probably post them on my Instagram story today. But I digress. Back to today's topic. As you probably know by now, if you've watched any of the previous videos, we were in the Netherlands to record the 3rd episode of the new series for Epidemic Sound called The Leap with Sadia from Pickup Limes. And during those 2 days, I got to think back to how this entire project came to be after an email and a Facebook message I sent to the Epidemic team sometime in March earlier this year, and a brief phone call with Chad that got this whole thing going. Chad, by the way, is this great guy here. He's a content and production manager at Epidemic and got this super charming British accent. I mean, just listen to him.
We're filming with a brilliant artist called Stefan Kuntz, checking out his creative process.
That, by the way, was on the day we recorded the 2nd episode, which I think is gonna come out pretty soon. You can already be excited for that one. And the main reason why I'm telling you all this is that when I did reach out back then, I would have never thought that it would turn into something as cool as what it has become now. I wasn't even sure I would get a response, let alone talk to anyone about the idea that I had back then. And yet, here we are, talking about taking the initiative. You simply wouldn't believe it. It's like middle of October and we probably have like 25 degrees. So I said I wanted to talk about taking initiative. And that's mainly because the project that I've been working on right now, as well as most of the other things that I've started this year, have really only happened because I initially started reaching out to people. Especially over the last few months, I thought that that's just how it starts. The first few projects, you're the one reaching out, and then it sort of gets the ball rolling and then things happen by themselves. Within the last 2 or 3 months, I noticed at the beginning that was that way. I got requests when videos came out that had my name under them. But that actually started dying down way quicker than I thought, and most of the project requests that I received were not really things that interested me at all. And mainly that made me realize that in the long run, to make this work, I'm gonna be the one who has to reach out. I'm the one who has to take initiative. If there are projects that I want to work on, if I have ideas that I want to realize, then it's my own responsibility to reach out to people or companies that I know could make this work, to actually contact them and make those projects happen.
Not here to please you. It's time to move on, cause my time is now. I am a woman.
So, and realizing that for myself, I thought it would be helpful to share that thought with you. I realized things are not just happening by themselves. It's your own responsibility or my own responsibility to make things happen, especially when you're in the very beginning and nobody knows you. It's on you to figure out who could be the people that could be interested in what you have to offer, and then actually make them know about you. Be it by reaching out, being by publishing a whole lot of stuff, because in the end, things are not just gonna happen magically. Especially the actual reaching out part can be a whole lot easier than you might think. Just as an example, the way I got to work together with Warner was simply by me sending him a DM on Instagram. That's all it took for us to get in contact, and everything else basically came from there. So does this always work? Well, of course not. For every time that has worked, in fact, I probably reached out like 5 to 10 times more and didn't even get a reply. Does that feel awkward? Most of the times. Is it frustrating to not get a response? That basically is always the case. But you still simply gotta take the chance, because otherwise it might as well just happen that all those good ideas that you have will simply never turn into something, because nobody ever gets to hear about that. That looks like that could be something for me.
I'm leaving all that behind, so I'm gonna let it shine on you.
So to really wrap this up for today and turn that into some takeaway for you as well as for myself, because I'm totally guilty of forgetting that, especially in the last few months. If you have an idea and you think about a project that could work and there's someone who could make this happen, just reach out, because you never know it might actually happen unless you really go for it. And so even though that might sound like super cheesy and everybody could give this advice, I might still hope that there might be someone sitting and watching this for whom that's just a little bit of the tipping point that really makes you send that email, that makes you send that DM on Instagram. And if it does, actually let me know and tell me if that works. Also, I hope that this very project I'm doing here is actual proof for what I was trying to tell in this video. I didn't believe it could work, but I tried, and funny enough, it actually did. Remember when I told you in the beginning of the series what these videos shall all be about? To show you that I'm no different than you, and if I can manage to get those things going for myself, so can you. And so now actually I'm curious, if you have any kind of such idea that you feel that could actually turn into some super cool project, who is it that you would have to reach out to, and what's stopping you from doing it? Tell me in the comments below. I'm super curious to hear about that. And what I'm also curious about is how it's resonating with you when I'm sharing thoughts and stories like this. Does it help you in getting a tiny bit of extra confidence you might need to make that thing happen that you've been wanting to do but felt you couldn't achieve?
Oh, it's a slow way down. With that warning, you cut me off.
Pretty long travel day in Amsterdam goes to an end. We are now just about to head back to the central station and then take the plane back.
Down, 'cause I was there from the beginning. I was there right from the start. I was sure.
We got our tickets, we figured out which track to go to. Now it's just time to head to the airport and then head back to Sweden. Done for today. 14B.
I would take the blame. I would see it through, even through the pain.
So then it's bye-bye Amsterdam. See you next time, whenever that next time's gonna be. But now it's definitely time to go back to Sweden, take a shower and then go to bed. I know, I think I have to edit Warner's vlog for tomorrow. Let's see when we get that done. And we made it to Linköping, but that's gonna be enough for today. So that's it for this video. Cool that you joined us on those 3 days in the Netherlands. If you liked the video, I'd be excited if you gave it a thumbs up. It actually makes a difference. And if you haven't already, subscribe to join me on my 1-year journey of becoming a full-time filmmaker. Until next time.
Ultimately, what we want to do is give that insight into how content creators become content creators full-time. We want to show those moments where you might have, thought, I want to do this full-time. This is my life. I don't want to work in an office. And so just giving that sort of inspiration to people to be like, well, this is how these content creators did it. Quit your job, drop out of school, move to a different country, and just become content creators and make cool stuff. It's all about inspiring people.
And live your dream. But thank you so much. This has been a really fun day.
Pleasure is mine, mate.